Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to our hangout. We're going to do a tour today, so hopefully if you're just joining us, if you've never seen our channel before, we are renovating a 6,000 square foot underground bunker that was built in the 60s as a communication relay station.
No one's on yet. But we look good. It has a good connection.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so welcome. We're going to do a tour today for anyone who's interested in seeing our bunker. You can see we've moved pretty much everything from where our kitchen and living room is going to be. We've moved all of our furniture into our rec room. It was a lot of work, actually. It took us pretty much the whole week, basically, to move everything and get things set up. But anyway, if you're just joining us, if you've never seen our channel before, we're renovating a 6,000 square foot underground bunker, and it's just one day at a time, taking it one day at a time. So today we've got Joan behind the camera because Enoch is not here, so he can't man the questions. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to toss them out to us. But we're going to give you guys a bunker tour. So also, if you have questions, you want to see something, let us know. But this is pretty much the entrance of our bunker. When you come in, we've got these the stairwell, basically. Over on each side, you also have these 4 feet baffles, which open up with compressed air, and were designed to close automatically in case of a nuclear explosion. They would sense the pressure outside. You also, I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of dark up there, we have a 1-ton lift. Certain components on there are actually made for 1.5 tons, but other ones are just made for 1 ton. So that's how we can get things up and down. We also have a cargo net. It was actually one of our purchases before we even bought the bunker. We ordered this cargo net, and it was a great buy because there were things when we were moving in that weren't going to fit into the cart of the lift, and we were able to lower them down.
Mr. Smooth Daddy asked, when was the bunker built?
It was built, it's a little bit vague as far as the actual records of this specific bunker go. Most of them were built in the 60s mid to late 60s, early 70s. According to the county records, this was early 70s. So I don't know if that's true or if that's just how far the records go back. So anyway, yeah, there's actually about 100 of these built back in the 60s, early 70s, and they're called L3 communication bunkers. They were run by AT&T, but they were built by the government. So they were built to withstand a near-miss nuclear explosion. Everything was built on springs. We've got 2-foot...
Crazy Myrtle sent flowers.
Oh, thanks. We've got 2-foot thick walls. This is our blast door. It's pretty heavy, but you can actually push it pretty easily. Just trying to reverse the direction is a little hard because it is heavy, but it opens by itself. If we undo this latch, it'll open up, and there's a little rubber stopper back here that gets it a little soft.
Mr. Rod says hi.
How's it going?
This is JB800 from Canada.
All right, thanks for joining us, guys.
How deep underground are you?
For not that deep, as you can see in the stairwell, we've only got like 36 steps down, so about 25 feet below the ground. We've got 16.5 foot ceilings and 2-foot thick reinforced concrete walls. We also have Emp Shielding built on the outside of all of our walls. So if, in a nuclear explosion, there's actually an EMP burst as well. And so it was done like that to protect all the telecommunication equipment in here so it wouldn't disrupt anything. So if there is a nuclear explosion, all of our electronics and everything will be protected in here. So that's kind of cool. But as you come into our bunker, we've got the entryway. We've got a little janitor's closet over here. This was the decontamination shower. So you would come in.
Quick question from
Yeah.
Mr. Rod. Do y'all have cell phone reception?
No, what we've actually, we have internet, and we switched to Wi-Fi calling when we're in the bunker. So we can get calls here, but it's through the internet. So it's not through any cell phone towers, because the EMP shielding negates that. So we've got fiber optic that comes right into the bunker. But because of our EMP shielding, even if you just go into this room, we lose all coverage because of that shielding.
Ever order DoorDash or food delivery to your address, and have they been confused?
No, we do get Amazon packages delivered, and some people do get confused at times, but they've actually learned now. They just can leave it upstairs or sometimes in our mailbox or whatever.
So we had to build that relationship with our delivery.
Yeah, one time I had someone actually walk in the front door, come down the steps, walk in without saying anything, leave something, and then turn around and leave, which was a little weird. I don't know. I thought that was, he was probably just curious, I guess. I don't know, but it was weird.
He didn't know where the doorbell was, maybe.
Yeah, and I don't think our door was open, anyway.
Is it legal to live in a bunker?
Yeah, so we don't actually have any, because we're not inside of a city. We're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. We're under county rules, so we basically have no rules. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to get any permits. I don't have to have any inspections. Anything I do inside the bunker is all on me, basically. So.
How much land do you own above the bunker, and will you use it?
Yes, we have 13 acres, and we do plan on using it. It's kind of rainy this week, so there's not much going to go on up top, but yeah, 13 acres. So we've got a few plans. I've been looking into different types of fruits that I could potentially grow in this climate. I'm kind of central U.S., Midwest kind of area. We do get some wind here, and we do get some frost too. So some things like apples or whatever, you have to consider different things that can withstand those frosts that come. And especially the frost plus the wind can be extensive.
What's the square footage of the bunker?
It's about 6,000 square feet, but when I calculate that, I'm basically just taking the outside parameter square footage. I'm not really accounting for walls. I don't know if I even accounted for the mezzanine when I say that. We're going to add some square footage to it though, because we're going to extend, because we have 16.5 foot ceilings. Some of the rooms we're going to build 2 stories. We'd like to keep a lot of them open with high ceilings, but some of them we're going to try to take advantage of and build some bedrooms.
Ben asks, how can we support you?
That is a great question. Share our video, tell people about it.
Do you still want YouTube?
We really, really want to be able to get some of the features on YouTube. So we're not really posting a lot on YouTube right now because our features are limited. So if you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, if you go to undergroundliving.tv, it'll take you right to our YouTube channel. There's not a lot being posted there, but we're working on trying to plan out content that'll be separate from what we do here on TikTok. So
JB800 asks, sorry if I already asked, but will you be using the bunker for a business or personal residence?
This is going to be our personal home, our forever home, basically. We're trying to renovate it. Our plan, and I'll show you. I'll walk you through. I'll tell you exactly what our plans are and what we're going to do. This room here used to be the decontamination shower. So you would walk in this room, you'd come in here, there was a shower, but somebody took it out previous to us before we bought it. And we're going to put it back in. We're going to put a shower here, and we're going to build a wall here. So we're going to put this wall here, you'll have a shower, and then the other room, which is where you would then, when this was in use, the idea was you take off your clothes that have potential radiation on them here, you bathe it out over there, and then you get new clothes on the other side, and you walk in the bunker.
Zachary asks how the shower is. How's the shower?
Oh, our new showers have been great. So unfortunately, we lose reception when we go in here, but we've got hot showers. Someone else previously started putting those in with PEX pipe and stuff, and so I just had to kind of rearrange them and rehook up some things. But yeah, we have hot showers. It's been really nice to have hot showers, and in fact, we've got a dual, because there were 3 showers in there. We just turned 2 of them around, so now we have a dual shower. That's kind of cool. We've never had anything like that, so that's anyway. Those aren't going to be permanent showers, and that's not a permanent fixture, but you know, it's a nice thing to have for sure.
So Doing It Dirty says, do you feel that you're prepared enough to shut the doors and live there in a doomsday scenario?
Not yet. Not yet, but we will work on it. This is, in here, you'll see this huge vent that we got out of the ceiling. It was gigantic, and it came down with a nice boom. But we have to actually take it apart to get it out of there because it's too big to come out.
JB also asked, are you going to live as much self-sufficient as you?
That's the goal. Solar, we want to dig our own well. Right now we're on city water, but we have a 10,000 gallon stainless steel tank outside. So we'd like to get a well water, start using that eventually, filter all of that, because it's, in a tank you gotta filter it, make it clean and stuff. But that's the idea. 100% self-sufficient, as self-sufficient as possible. Try to grow our own food. At the very least, have everything paying for itself. So if we are buying things outside of that it's coming from stuff that's being produced here. And then this is where the decontamination shower is. We've got a compost toilet in there right now, but eventually we'll put in a toilet. We're going to cut a hole through that back wall and go to an up pump, and then it'll go to the pump room. The actual up pump will be in the pump room like a Santa Flow, if you've heard of it.
Okay, Mr. Rod asks, how many people are living there and how many people could if need be?
I don't know how many people could. My sort of dream is to make this into a place where I can have my family come back as my kids get older. My youngest is 12, my oldest is 19. So as they get married, I want to have enough space that they could come here and we could have a family reunion, And so I want at least 5 bedrooms because we've got 4 kids. So at least 5 bedrooms, each with their own bathroom.
For Armama from Germany says, just want to say you guys are awesome. Love to see your videos.
Thanks so much. We appreciate your guys' support.
Are you related to Johnny Bravo?
No. No, I'm not related to any fictional characters that I know of. This is our pump room in here. This is our ejector pump, so all of our sewage comes through here. And then it's got these massive, actually these are bendable, you have this huge 4-inch pipe, right? And then these make them bendable. So if there was an explosion, you're not going to break your pipes. If things are moving around and rocking, everything here was built. You'll notice that this whole panel's on springs at the top, springs at the bottom. Everything was built like that here to make sure if there was an earthquake, really it was if there was a nuclear explosion that caused an earthquake, that nothing would get damaged. And you'll see in a lot of the piping even that they have flexible copper pipes dispersed throughout the bunker as well to make sure that even those copper pipes aren't going to get damaged.
JB is wondering if you're considering hydroponics, tanks and growing plants.
Okay, that is a good question. I'm considering it. I've been looking at doing things like microgreens and stuff like that. I know that's not real food. I don't want to introduce a lot of moisture into the bunker because that's your biggest enemy is moisture, right? Because mold and mildew, and anytime you have moisture in a dark, damp place like a bunker, you got to worry about moisture because mold and mildew will grow. An enemy, your number one enemy in a bunker, or your number one enemy in any sort of doomsday scenario is less people and more nature. Nature's heartless. Nature's not going to, show any mercy, right? And so we've got to be really careful about any type of moisture we might introduce. We've thought a lot about mushrooms because they will grow and they don't need a ton of moisture. Anyway, those are some of our thoughts on that. I've thought about it though. You can build kind of contained areas though, but that moisture does seep out a little bit.
So will you guys be doing anything to make it look more like a house, hiding pipes and painting, etc.?
Yes. However, I don't want to like cover up all this stuff. Like I want access to this. Like this room's it's probably gonna stay a little bit slightly messy. This is the hot water tank we were working on the last week. It's 100 gallons. I think at one point I said 150, but I looked at the stats. It's actually 100 gallons, and it's a copper hot water. And so I've restored this. I've put in new elements. We ended up having to put in a more modern thermostat, although this one is hooked up still. This is mostly just for looks now. I put in an actual, a more modern thermostat that just sits up against the tank in there. But it's super efficient. Like it's not, you can hear it when it's running, and it's not running right now. And I've come in and checked on it multiple times, and it doesn't run most of the day because it actually holds in a lot of its heat in there.
Can you find qualified people to work on machinery and electronics?
That's a good question. I haven't tried. I've just been working on everything myself. So I mean, I'm kind of a DIYer, so I love like going on YouTube, figuring stuff out. I want to figure it out because the thing about hiring someone to fix this is then I don't know if it breaks, how to fix it again, right? And if I was in a bad type of doomsday scenario, and again, I didn't buy a bunker because I think the world's like going to end or anything like that. I bought it because it's an awesome space. I love it. I'm excited about. I like alternative spaces. I like the idea of transforming them. But it's hard not to have a bunker and think and not consider doomsday scenarios. But in a doomsday scenario, you want to know how things work, right? So I don't want to hire out anything that I can figure out myself. And I think most things are figure outable.
And you can quote that. Most things are figure outable.
Yeah. Okay, so we had a bunch of storage in this room. We've cleared it out because our next big project is we're going to start working on getting all the metal out of this ceiling like we did in the rec room. And you'll see in the rec room, it used to have metal and lights and all this stuff up there, outlets and all the HVAC ducting and stuff like that. We've taken all that out, and that's got to happen to these rooms too, because this is where the second story is going to be built for 2 rooms. So we're going to have 2 rooms here on the second story. Down below, this is going to be our pantry. We want to have a large pantry. So the question earlier was asked, could we shut the door and be fine? This is where our food storage is going to go. So we're hoping to have basically like a tiny little grocery store where we just keep rotating and using stuff right from this pantry.
How did you find your bunker?
Well, I've known about them for about 7 years. There were multiples. We were actually looking to buy a different one in a different location that was already renovated. And that fell through. So I just probably what I ended up doing was I found online a place where I found the coordinates of multiple of these facilities, and I just kind of looked for them on Google Maps, and you can recognize them once you see them. Once you know what they look like, you'll know when you see one from the aerial view. And I just looked up public records and I started calling people. I said, hey, are you looking to sell your facility?
Sorry, why are you pulling the metal down from the ceiling?
We got to pull all of this down so we can build our second story.
So that's taking up like how many feet of space up there?
Yeah,
right?
so we've got 16 and a half feet. And look, there's a door. This is the mezzanine. So there's already a door here. I don't have to build one. I just have to extend where that door is and build the second floor right here. And I can show you that door up when we go up to the mezzanine. But we got to take it down, or we can't build a second story.
Is it hard?
Where our rooms go.
Was it hard to get internet down in the bunker?
Actually, no. The local internet company, they came and they excavated the corner. They actually knew right where the old telephone line used to be. They excavated that corner. They
Were they also the phone company?
yes, they're also the phone company. Yeah,
so that's why they knew.
That's maybe why they knew. They excavated it. They did it, and they didn't charge us anything. So they went and they did all that stuff. We pay obviously monthly for our internet service, but they were awesome. They were amazing. They came in and hooked everything up. Spent a whole day just bringing that fiber optic cable from the back of our bunker to the front of our bunker.
So if someone else wanted to find a bunker to buy,
okay, maybe send me a DM. I'm trying to put together a bunch of material for people who might be interested in, because I've been looking at this for about 7 years, so I've learned a lot. I guess 8 years, so we've almost been here for 9 months now. But the best thing is to start just find them, call the people, see if they're looking to sell. I think the other thing is you have to understand the market of bunkers. Like you can go and find one. Like there's 2 on eBay right now that are for sale, but the one's asking $600,000, the other person's asking $1.2 million. I think I know how much that one that they're asking $1.2 million sold for last time. So you have to, if you don't know that information, then it's such an eclectic kind of thing. I think you would think, oh well, yeah, it's worth 1.2 million because the government spent 3 million building it in the 60s, and that's now worth 20 million, and that's what people will tell you. But I don't think that's true. I don't think they're worth 1.2 million. Personally, I mean, maybe you find that buyer who has like all the money in the world and they want it and it's unique and they love it enough. I just don't think it's worth that much. I mean, they're hard to resell. So you'll see people who owned them for like 10 years and haven't done anything with them. And there's a reason for that. Like they don't just sit on the market because their demand's high. They sit on the market because the demand is not high. So I would not recommend buying one as an investment property. I will never see the amount of money I put into this back.
So if it's too personal, you don't have to answer, but how much did it cost for the bunker and the land?
It is. We're not telling people exactly how much we paid, but we are telling people this. It cost this one we purchased for less than the median price of a home in the U.S. And the median price of a home in the U.S. is $320,000 to $330,000.
What's your favorite thing about the bunker?
Ooh, my favorite thing. Just that we have it. That's my favorite thing. Just the fact that we're here, we're working on it. I mean, I mentioned this earlier, but this was a 7-year process. So like, our kids have basically grown up thinking we're going to buy a bunker someday, right? In 7 years, like that's a long span of their lifetime. With my oldest at 17, right? So she was 12 or 19. So she was 12 when we started, looking at them and trying to figure out how to do it. So just the fact that we're here and we're renovating, that's the best part. That's my favorite part.
Okay, and what's your least favorite part? What's the worst part of living in a bunker?
Radon, I think. I think we've got moisture under control pretty well, but radon, we don't have that under control yet. We need to get there's quite a few things we need to do to combat radon. Our plan is we're going to get an ERV, which is an energy recovery ventilation system, and that will pull air in and push air out, but it also uses the heat of the air going out to heat the air that's coming in or cool the air that's coming in, depending on whether it's hot or cold. So it'll balance out that heat. But what we'll do is we'll pull more air in than we push out. And what that'll do is that'll pressurize the bunker. And when the bunker's pressurized, that tends to push any type of gases away from the bunker, because there are places for it to go away. There's floor drains, which we put radon covers on, and there's our baffles right now. So if we just kind of pressurize everything in here, that should go a long way with our radon. So, and we've got a device which measures our radon, it measures our CO2, it measures toxic fumes, it measures humidity, and it's kind of in one device. So it's pretty cool. It's called called a Wave by Airthings, and we love it. It's great. Also a really great purchase for us. Okay. Sorry for the mess. I'm kind of trying to organize some of the boxes that we moved. I thought this may be the only time I actually have a moment to kind of go through the boxes and figure out if I want to keep stuff. But this room, previously we had a tent in here, which was my daughter's, where one of my daughters slept. We had a bunk bed over here. We had our kitchen in the far corner. The dryer was not here. And we were basically living most of the time in this room. But we've cleared it all out so that we can start taking this metal down. We're also going to take down this wall. We're just not the studs. There's metal studs back there, but we're gonna take down all of the drywall. I don't want any drywall in the bunker. I don't want any wood because, like I said earlier, our biggest nemesis is moisture and mold and mildew, and drywall is just too mold prone. And maybe this was mold resistant drywall, but I have looked at other bunkers, and there was one. It was in really rough shape. It had been vandalized. The wiring had been stripped out of it, but the drywall was molding. So it's not mold proof, and so we're just going to take it all out. We're going to replace it probably with some type of concrete board or something like that.
All right, so to answer a question, the air measuring device again was called a Wave by Airthings.
Airthings. If you go to airthings.com, it's
WAVE, Wave.
Yeah, and I think it's only a couple $100, and it'll give you a history of, where was your radon yesterday and last week and last month and all that kind of stuff. So it's a cool device that you hook up to your phone app, and you can keep a history of all that.
It looks like Owen is back and said that they got the World War II Army place and they're keeping the castle and grounds.
Ah, awesome.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, someone asked, this is Mr. Rod again, so what color are y'all thinking for paint?
Okay, so that's a good question. I mean, I kind of like the industrial look, so it'll probably end up kind of gray in most places.
Gray, not because of your gray paint, but because you want concrete.
Well, I do like concrete, but I've been looking at, I have to insulate the bunker, right? Which means that I can't just leave exposed concrete. So I've been looking at, different ways of insulating it. I mean, I could put up insulation board and then stud it out, and with metal studs, so there's no wood that can go moldy, and then put concrete board over that, and then finish that with the concrete finish. I don't know if I want to do all that, so I've been looking at some metal insulated panels that come from a door manufacturer, where they cut out large windows and they resell the insert panels that came out of those insulated doors. I've been looking at those and maybe thinking about insulating the bunker with those. So I've been thinking about just kind of riveting those together and having that be the aesthetic of the bunker, just kind of these riveted metal panels.
So got a compliment on the hair, killing it, bro.
Thanks.
100%. Mr. Rod says, sorry for asking so much, but found the page long ago and fell in love with it.
Yeah, no, whatever questions you guys have, we're happy to ask them. That's why we're here today.
What's the oldest thing you've ever seen in the bunker?
I'm not exactly sure because I don't know how to age it, right? We did find some blueprints. That's probably the oldest thing because there are blueprints before they actually built the bunker, where they took, not of the bunker, I wish I had blueprints of the bunker, but of them doing some core samples of the land, of the 13 acres here. So that's probably the oldest because that probably happened before the bunker was even built. So anyway, So that's going to be 2 bedrooms and a pantry. This room is going to be a sort of open concept. We're going to have living room stuff over here. We're going to have a kitchen in that back corner, dining room table here, and then a doorway to the pantry right there. And then that's pretty much it. You know,
what are you going to do for flooring?
I'm thinking about using the same paneling. And because I'd really like to do some radiant heat in the floors. And if I use that insulated paneling, potentially that metal that's on the side of it will disperse the heat out. Instead of just having pockets of heat, it kind of makes it more even heat on the floor. So that, and then concrete.
Do we ever get bugs or animals down here?
We do get a few flies on occasion. There's like these tiny flies that can get through our fly net and come in here, and so we do find, and every once in a while we get a big fly that we kind of track down.
How far underground are we?
Only about 25 feet, so about 36 steps down into the bunker. All right, hey, we're going to show you our rec room, or maybe before we do the rec room, because that's kind of new. I don't think people have seen that yet. Let's go to the mezzanine. I want to show you guys the mezzanine. So this door here is the mezzanine. We're going to show you guys the other side of that.
We hope to be posting again on YouTube in the future. If you could go and like our YouTube page, subscribe.
Yeah,
thank you.
We're limited on our features until we have 1,000 subscribers, and we're working on trying to figure out the kind of content we're going to put on there. So if you guys can subscribe, that helps us a ton to be able to get there. We're about halfway there right now. This is our makeshift bathroom right now. Nothing permanent, no floors in or anything. I'm not going to do wood floors. I'm thinking just concrete. It's just going to be concrete floors. I like the aesthetic of a bunker. Like, I like that kind of industrial look. Although all this wood stuff will be gone when we redo it. I'm thinking about replacing that toilet with a shower, having a toilet here, building a wall here. So basically, we have a full bath right here. And also downstairs where the decontamination shower, I want to build a shower there, and then a toilet right next to that. So that'll be a full bath. And then this will be the first bedroom that you'll come to. Right now, this is the bedroom the room Joan and I are using for our bedroom. All these cabinets were here from a previous renovator. The previous renovator was going to make this into a kitchen. We took all of that cabinetry and we're temporarily using that for our makeshift kitchen until we build our own kitchen. But we left some of the cabinets here so we could store stuff for our room, our clothes and stuff like that. But this is the door here that goes out to the mezzanine. It's quite a drop there to the bottom. But you'll see here, we can't really build that second story until we take down all this metal. So that's our next step, is take down all this metal, take down that drywall so we can replace the drywall out there with some type of concrete board or something.
All right, from in Arkansas with lots of old facilities and buildings, how do I go about looking for an underground bunker?
Okay, so in Arkansas, I don't know if there is one in Arkansas. They built them in very specific places. So the thing about these, they built them kind of like in a line to keep the line of communication across the country going. You have to kind of move to the bunker. You're probably not gonna find one just that's local.
At least a communication bunker. Huh?
At least a communication bunker, yeah. We do have some people who follow us who are working on building their own bunkers. That's kind of cool. But you can't really beat the space and size and all the money that was put into a bunker like this. Like if you had to build one yourself, it's just not going to get that much space and height and ceiling and everything like you will with this one. All right. And then this is just some, I don't know, some monitoring station that will probably be coming out because we got to put a toilet here. And maybe a washer and dryer, an upstairs washer and dryer right here. Yeah, that's, I mean, obviously things are still hooked up. I think one of these will buzz. Which one buzz?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, there we go. I don't know why. And there's some bell up here. I don't know what that does, but I'm pretty sure every time I push it, a mosquito dies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know, right?
We use this as our night light. This is the light we leave on so we can find the bathroom.
And all the other lights are off. Like that's our night light to come to the bathroom.
Yes.
Okay.
So answer this as we go. Is it gas or electric?
We don't have any gas. I don't want any gas in the bunker. There have been people who built bunkers and they put gas in it and it leaked and exploded and killed them. So I don't want any gas in the bunker. Everything wants to be electric. Plus the advantage of electric is that eventually I can be 100% off grid. So if I get everything, all the solar and stuff installed, I'm still not dependent on gas. It's actually advantageous for me to stay electric, even though electric is a lot more expensive. We've got all sorts of electrical panels all over the place, and you'll see again, everything's on springs. Everything moves, flexible conduit. This whole thing was made, if there was a explosion, that nothing's going to get damaged, basically. This is my mess. This is another project I need to be working on soon. Is I got to organize all my tools and stuff. Everything's just kind of thrown in here, and I'm always like, "Where's my?" And sorry for all of you guys who have shops and are really organized. I need to get there. So that's my goal. Is I need to be much more organized. And I just have some shelves, and so it's not super conducive. Being organized, but maybe Joan will help me organize it. This is the 200 kilowatt diesel generator that used to be in here. One of two, actually. This is coming out. This is actually it's not on springs, but it's got like these really thick. It is suspended on these sort of rubber buffers. There's one here, and then same on the other side. That's what. Let's see here. I thought maybe it would say how many kilowatt. I'm pretty sure it's like 220 or something kilowatt hours, but we don't want to run diesel. Same issue with gas. We don't want to run diesel inside the bunker. This is way overkill. This was built here not just to run this facility, but also to run all the telecommunication equipment that used to be here. So they needed a really large diesel generator to run that equipment. We don't need that. We could run off of a whole house generator pretty easily.
So do you need common inspections like every new house?
No, we don't need anything. We're out in the country, and where we are, we just don't have those rules. So no inspections, no permits, unless I build something new. Even then, I don't need permits. I just need to get it approved. I need I don't need inspections, but I do need permits to build things outside. So, sorry for the mess, guys. We're living in a renovation. This is where my son sleeps. And then this over here, we've got some more baffles on the other side. These baffles are closed. Unfortunately, I don't have a light in here, but these baffles are closed. But I can hook up an air compressor. We'll light it up a bit. I can hook up an air compressor to that nozzle on the top there, and open up those baffles. But when they close, it hurts your ears, so I don't really do that.
Yeah.
I could do it. Joan hasn't heard it yet, so.
Yeah, I have.
Oh, yeah.
I was filming. I was. I dropped the camera.
All right. We also have. This is the fan room. So we've got these huge fans in here. These are all coming out. And this is the air compressor that would add air to the tank, the canisters, by all the baffles to open them up. So there's lines of air that go out from here to all those baffles. That's turned off right now, but it does work. The compressor does work. These fans sort of work. This one the engine tends to overheat and smoke a bit. So I wouldn't turn that one on, but that one I've turned on, and it will run if I turn it on.
User 774 says, what's the best state to find an underground bunker ready to purchase? What do you suggest?
Okay. Depends on how much work you want to do. If you want to do a lot of renovation, or there's other ones where you can find that are not quite so much renovation. There's some that are renovated. Like I said, there's one on eBay right now. It's been renovated. They're asking 1.2, but DM me and we'll talk and I'll tell you how much they bought it for. We can, because that's important to know. It was not 1.2 million. It was not anywhere close to 1.2 million that they bought it for. I know because I almost bought that one. But it didn't work out. So now we're renovating our own. There's other ones that are in really, really bad shape. Oh, let me show you this before we leave here. We've got some nuclear filters over here. These will actually are filters to filter certain nuclear particles. Now there's multiple types of nuclear particles. It won't filter all of those. Like there are things like gamma is you need like 2 feet of concrete to filter gamma radiation. So there's some radiation which is penetrating. But there's other stuff that just kind of floats. It's lighter. It floats in the air. And that's what that's for, is to filter anything like that. And right now we are using this kind of as a storage room. As we've taken threaded rods down out of the ceiling, metal out of the ceiling. We've just been storing it here so that if we want to reuse it for stuff, we can come here. This is like our little hardware store. We'll come in here and grab a bolt or something to fix something or make something or whatever.
So you already have 2 feet of concrete, so you still need the filters?
Well, because of the air. So if you were still bringing air in, any residual radiation that's in the air needs to be filtered out.
What's the
but gamma generally will shoot in a straight line, and it's with the initial burst are like the gamma and the neutron radiation comes out really fast and is super penetrating, right? The other radiation is the stuff that you need to filter, but it's not quite as penetrating as the gamma and the neutron radiation.
What's the plan for removing the generator?
One piece at a time is my only plan. There's some cool stuff in there, like some nice big thick copper bars and stuff for electronic connections and stuff like that. But yeah, just one piece at a time, just bolt by bolt. Maybe some cutting involved. We also, if you look up, that's like a 800-pound muffler in our ceiling there, that rusted thing that we've got to take down. The seller is supposed to help us with that because he has experience with demolition. I'm hoping that happens, but I don't know if it will. I'll just leave it there. Anyway, all right, let's go on to the rec room, which is now our living space. So we've got 2 doors. The one that was the room the blue room that we took you to before. There's a door over there, and then there's a door here through the engine room. But we're still in the process of moving, so excuse the mess. I don't know. I don't think I can say excuse the mess for 5 years, but we're renovating and living in it, so there will be a mess over the next several years as we renovate. But we moved our couch and TV in here. We put our kitchen over here. Bedrooms, you can see all the storage that we used to have in that yellow room. We just put it back in the corner. The tent that Zion's been sleeping in, we put over there in front of the storage. Celeste's bed we put right here in front of the storage as well. And then we have our kitchen table, Joan's sort of workspace that she's claimed over there. We've got this other futon couch. And a lot of that futon couch was the one we got as a wedding present. So we've been carrying that around for a long time. We don't want anything new. We don't want new furniture while we're in the middle of a renovation. Like, it doesn't make sense to get new furniture until after the renovation is farther along. We don't want to mess stuff up in the process. So we're just kind of using what we have.
So when you said bunkers were constructed in a line, are some connected by underground tunnels?
No. They're not. No, I just mean that there's a line of them that kind of goes across the country. Now there were different lines. So like these were, when I said line, because these were actually known as long lines. That's actually the name of these bunkers, were the long lines. And it was basically just communication from one to another. So not in a straight line, but they just were kind of put in a pattern. But there were different, this is an L3. So this was a specific line of bunkers in the L3. There was also L4s and there were L5s. So there were different lines of bunkers that went to different parts of the country. And some of them were huge. There's one in North Carolina that's at least 4 to 8 times the size of this one. And it's gigantic. And it's still got high ceilings. So like and it's 2 stories, right? So you've got 2 stories, high ceilings. So, I mean, you could almost build a little, like, community down there. It's so big. That one's owned by American Tower right now. And as far as I know, they're not selling it, unfortunately.
Do all of your kids live with you?
My oldest is actually away. She is doing missionary work for the next 9 months.
So when did the government stop using the line of bunkers?
The bunkers were closed, I think, in the early 80s, once fiber optics became more used for communication lines. Fiber optics aren't affected by nuclear explosions. I mean, obviously, if you hit a fiber optic line, that connection would be broken. But because of the extensive use of fiber optic lines, they aren't affected by things like EMP burst, things that would knock out electronics. They could go basically all across the country and they wouldn't lose communication. So,
do all the kids love the idea of living underground?
I don't know if I would use the word love. I mean, I think they're like, yeah, that's cool. Like, you know, they're teenagers now, so you know, there's a little bit of apathy there, but I think they think it's cool. And I think they're excited about seeing the end product. They're not always excited about helping me with stuff, but like they do help.
Yeah.
Just not always excited about helping me. Because they got their own stuff. We homeschool, so they've got their own projects and stuff that they're working on. Sometimes I pull them away in the middle of stuff to help me. But that's it. Let's show them the escape hatch. So another cool thing about these bunkers is that they've got this really cool escape hatch. So it's a full stairwell back here. This door is a little bit harder to open than the front one. But we've got a full stairwell escape hatch back here. We're storing our bikes down here at the bottom of the stairwell. And then we've got a horizontal escape hatch. I love this room. I love the raw concrete. I wish the rest of the bunker looked like this and was never painted. I don't know, I just love that raw concrete look. I don't know if any of you out there are familiar with brutalist architecture. It's a lot of raw concrete. I love that. I love the look of that. So anyway, that's one of my favorite spots, just because the walls are unfinished and still concrete. I could potentially try to take off some of this paint, but since I've got to insulate it anyway, it doesn't make a lot of sense to go through the hassle of taking it off. But I'm just going to cover it with insulation. Sometimes you can hear the birds would be like right up there. You can hear their singing echoing through the shaft. That's kind of cool. All right, any other questions? What time are we at?
Let's see. Got, a few more minutes.
Okay. This is kind of a cool thing. This is original to the bunker. And what you would do is you have this right here, which is a giant threaded rod. And in a collapse, if there was an explosion and that shaft collapsed and there was a lot of rubble there, you would actually take this, put it in front of the door, put this into this threaded rod, and you'd be able to slowly move several thousand pounds of rubble and open the door with just the leverage of that.
What's the temperature normally in the bunker?
So it does change, and that may be partially because we have the baffles open pretty much all year long to keep air circulation going through it. Once we get our ERV, that may help us to maintain a smaller window of heat change, but it ranges from about how cold has it gotten here?
It got as low as 54, I think.
Okay, as cold as 54, and it's gotten as hot as 75, but I don't think it's going to get that hot. I think we were doing some experiments. The only reason it got to 75 is because we were pulling in like 95-degree weather from our air from outside to see what would happen, basically.
So Mr. Rod says, after you insulate the cement board, why don't you use stucco instead of paint?
Well, thought about that, so it would have that kind of concrete look. I've actually been thinking about, I probably will, if I'm doing concrete board anywhere, I probably will finish it off with some sort of cement stucco kind of thing.
What do you use for heat?
Right now we have these heaters. So these heaters were here originally, they're electric heaters. From my research, electric heat is not cheap because electricity isn't cheap. But from my research, from what I've learned, electric heaters are 100% efficient, right? Because they convert all the energy into heat, right? There's no light, there's no moving energy, it's all converted into heat. So whether you have a 60-year-old heater or a modern heater, they're basically the same efficiency. The one thing we do with these is we put a fan, when we turn them on, we'll put a fan in front of them, and that will help it feel more comfortable because it circulates the warmer air. So.
Are you going to do anything to get rid of the echo?
Yes. So before, when we had this room full of stuff, there was hardly any echo. So once we build our kitchen and our dining room and our other stuff in here, I think the echo will be pretty much gone like it was before. So if you've seen any of our videos in this room earlier, there was hardly any echo, and all the echo was in that room. And now that we've got stuff in there, there's hardly any echo in there, and there's a lot of echo in here. But yeah, we got to take...
608 again says, looks awesome, but did your friends and family think you were crazy for the move?
Yes. I mean, and again, we've been looking at this for 7 years. So like they thought I was crazy. They thought it wasn't going to happen, because,
it took a while.
It took a while for us to figure it out and to be able to do it, to find the right facility, to find the right seller, and to be able to get it in terms that worked for us.
Mark asks, is there a lot of concrete dust?
Yes, there is some concrete dust, and there's dust, and it's a big space, and we're renovating, so there's always dust. There's always dust, unfortunately. We have to deal with dust quite a bit.
Any plans for a fallout party when you're done?
Yeah, let's do it. We'll we'll have a big party. I don't know how many people, like that is my one question is, like, how many people, if we have an event, like, could we actually have come into the bunker at one time? And I think a lot of that depends on exits. like how big is your exit, and in an emergency, can people get out and stuff like that.
Let's go in here and talk a little bit about the Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay. So up there is our Wi-Fi cable. It goes all the way to the front, and it goes into that room all the way over, and then goes to a wall kind of in the middle here. So they did quite extensive work to get our, that's not our Wi-Fi, that's our internet fiber optic line. They did quite extensive work to get our fiber optic line in here, so they were awesome.
And how is the Wi-Fi? What speed
so
do we get?
we've got, I think, 100 megapixels per second, maybe 150. I think it's 100. Just because I wanted to see if that's sufficient. So far, it's good. I think though we can get up to a gigahertz because it's fiber optic. We can get up to a gigahertz, and I think they sent me a quote for that.
Yeah.
So if we needed to, eventually we could get a gigahertz of up and down, not just up, because I can pay a specific fee, which is like $15 extra. So my up is the same as my download. My upload is the same as my download. Usually, with your internet, if you have like 100 upload or download, you might have like 20, 25 megahertz upload. But I pay an extra $15, so my upload is the same as my download.
So a quick comment on this hammock. So if you go back to our videos, you'll see one with stuffed animals. Our daughter in the blue room kept her stuffed animals in there, and we thought she would want that here, but she didn't want her bed here. So her bed's over there and her stuffed animals are over there. So yes, it's a hammock. It's not being used for anything at the moment.
Oh yeah, nobody's sleeping in that. Sorry.
No.
We're in disarray. We'll probably be in disarray for a few years, but
have we done a radon test?
yes, we monitor it. We have a monitor that tells us basically every hour what our radon is. The biggest thing we found that attributes to our radon going up is the pressure outside. If the pressure outside goes up, our radon goes down. And we tried different experiments with fans and blowing in air and doing other things, but we soon realized that what we were doing had less effect than the actual pressure and weather outside.
That's right. So that's one of our dehumidifiers. We have two.
Speaking of dust,
got a smiley face in that.
yeah, we've got two just floor ones. We will eventually get a whole house dehumidifier. And right now we just have like hoses hooked up to it that lead to a floor drain over by where one of those baffle rooms is. So, but I mean, our bunker is relatively dry. These run quite a bit out of the day, almost all day. So we're hoping a whole house dehumidifier will be. We're confident that a whole house dehumidifier is going to be more efficient than these, because these hog up a lot of energy.
All right, any last words?
I think that's it. Hey guys, if you can help us out, and I know we don't have a lot of videos posted on YouTube. We're planning to do more, but if you guys could subscribe, there's a link in our profile. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, it just opens up a lot more features to us to be able to do things, to do more like live streams and stuff like that, which we'd like to do more of on YouTube. So if you guys can help us out and go subscribe there so we can unlock that feature and a few other features, we'd really appreciate it. But you can follow us, or you can get to there, you go to undergroundliving.tv. The link is in our profile. That will take you right to our YouTube channel.
Quick request to see the bathroom?
Okay. What, our mezzanine bathroom?
I don't know.
They're talking about? Trying to think if there's any other information I can share. I mean, there's all sorts of mysteries here. Like I've got pipes. I've got a water pipe that goes out of our wall, our hot water tank, and out into the wall. I believe what that is it was recirculated back to the 10,000 gallon stainless steel tank that's outside, and it would just recycle the water to kill pathogens and stuff like that. I mean, this is our makeshift bathroom that we have right now. We've got a toilet, we've got a sink, although we've got to take down this wall. So this isn't like if you see here, there's concrete block. So I've got about a foot of space between here and that concrete block, and somewhere in there, the drain pipe that comes that goes into that wall leaks. So I've got to at least bust a hole in that wall, if not bust down the whole wall, and find that leak so that we can use our sink up here.
Are you still in the bunker?
Pretty much full time. I mean, full time. We don't have anywhere else to go. We don't have any. This is our home now. So we're renovating it. We're living in it, and we don't have any other place to go.
And yes, he brought hair clippers.
Yeah. I've got this cool like suction hair clipper that minimizes the mess.
Someone just asked for a full tour.
Oh, we just finished the full tour. I'm sorry. You know what? Maybe what I'll do is I'll download this video and I'll put it up on our YouTube channel. So go, if you can, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers to unlock our live feature there. So you can help us out.
And Mr. Rod, the reason there's a microwave in the bathroom is because we did not have hot water.
Yes,
we
just got hot water a week and a half ago, not even 2 weeks. So we've been living without hot water. So we have hot water, but we have to heat it up. And so we got a microwave so we can heat up some hot water in there.
All right, and he said that as a joke. But JJ says he will definitely subscribe to YouTube.
Thank you.
Wants to know if we like it. He's just now tuning in. Like living in a bunker.
Oh, we love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a big project, but we're excited about it still.
It's a dream come true.
Yeah, for sure.
And how was showering with only cold water?
So we didn't shower with cold water. Before we had hot water, we had a second Instapot. And we didn't really give them a good tour of the kitchen, but we had a second Instapot, and we'd heat up water in the Instapot, and we would take bucket showers. So for about 9 months, we just bathed using buckets, and then there was a floor drain, and we just let it drain down into the floor. So
okay, so real quick, how much was the bunker?
It cost a little bit less than the median price of a home in the U.S., which is about $320,000 to $330,000 is the median price of a U.S. home.
JJ also says cold showers aren't that bad. Looks awesome. Any neighbors?
Cows, mostly. It depends on how close you consider a neighbor. There is, our closest neighbor is at least a quarter of a mile away. Like, I don't know. Like, he's down the road a bit. So, we have some neighbors. There's a small graveyard that's like across the road from us, and a little ways down another road, but like it's not that far away. So we've got pretty quiet neighbors.
So we can't really show the showers because we lose internet connection in that room.
Yes, but there are videos. If you go check out our videos of us doing the showers, we do have videos of that. So you can go check those out. And all of our woes of trying to get our hot water tank, hot water heater working.
So Puff Loaf coming in late again. Did you put any more thought into putting in a spiral slide by the stairs?
No, I have not until just now. No, the kids would love that. That would.
You
be
did
fun.
have some thoughts this morning about an elevator in there.
I have been thinking about an elevator in the shaft, in the stairwell shaft. And I've been doing a little bit of research on YouTube, and my thought is, like, instead of just like installing an enclosed elevator, actually doing something more of like a freight elevator and just using our lift that we already have. Like right now, there's a hook on the bottom of our cart that goes up and down that we can lower, so we can take that off. And so my thought is, if I just build some tracks that go up that wall, and then weld together a frame that someone could come on and step on and then go up and down. Then I could potentially also unhook it and move it and do something else hook up my other stuff to it too if I want to.
So you could survive a nuclear blast?
I mean, we'd be better than most. We'd be better off than most people. We still need to build up our food storage. We still have quite a bit to do. We still have quite a bit of work to do before I'd feel I'm not quite ready. If you're planning on a nuclear explosion anytime soon, give me 5 years. In 5 years, we'll be in pretty good shape, I think.
Do you miss the sunlight?
I mean, we've got 13 acres, so we go outside. It's not like we're inside all day long. And all of our lights are 5K lights, except for these. There's a few fluorescent lights left, but this hallway is one of them. But for the most part, I've replaced all of our other ones with 5K LED lights.
Are you looking to sell the bunker in the next few years?
No. This is our forever home.
Are you looking to go off the grid?
Yes.
Solar, wind?
Solar. I don't like wind. Every time I've seen someone do, like whether on TV or YouTube or something like that, do some sort of wind installation, follow up with them in like 5 years and their wind stuff isn't working anymore. So, I mean, we have wind here, but I just do not want to invest a lot into wind. I've thought about potentially trying to take out the generator part of our generator, like the coils and stuff, and then taking the fan part out of our fan, like the make it, turn it sideways so it would be like more of like a horizontal one. I don't want to put a lot of money into it. Like I don't know how reliable wind has just not seemed very reliable. I mean, the big windmills are fine, like people know how to take care of those, but like residential kind of wind has not seemed reliable to me.
So Mr. Rod doesn't remember a video from the top side. There's no structure, right?
We have a small little like hut that's about maybe like 18, 20 feet like square with a roof. And so, yeah, we have a video of it. You might have to scroll down a bit, but we do have a video of the outside. But it's it's just a tiny little hut, basically up top. You would easily miss that there was anything here.
V8 says, love the videos. You should do YouTube videos.
We are planning on it. If you guys can subscribe to our YouTube channel, we need 1,000 subscribers to unlock things like live streaming and some other things. So one of the issues is my son does a lot of these videos for us, so he edits them, and he's not super excited about having to edit more videos, but we do have plans to do it, and I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. We've got some plans of things we want to do on YouTube. It would really help us though if we had 1,000 subscribers and could get live streaming on there. So that's part of our plans, is to do more live streaming. So, all right, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back again next Saturday, 3 Central, and we'll just do a Q&A next week. But thanks for joining us on this tour, and I'll try to post it on our YouTube channel. So people, if you're just joining us now, you'll be able to get that full tour on YouTube.
Yeah, thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks.
Appreciate all your comments, positive feedback. When did you purchase the bunker?
Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year, middle of COVID. So awesome. Thanks so much.
And how do you end these? I miss my teenage.